So we'll be touring you today. Welcome to the archives. Let's go. So this is our main collection. This are vaults 1, 2, and 3, and then we have vault 4 and 5 that are behind doors that will go into one of them. And then we also, that's sort of our production collection. It's primarily what we have here. And a lot of it you'll see on display on campus. And then we also have a historical collection that's really about Pixar culture. What makes Pixar Pixar? So let's go take a look at some of the artwork. So this is our isolation vault, which means this is where we keep our maquettes and molds. A lot of the material in this room off-gases, so we don't want to mix it with the paper collection, so we have a separate venting system and a separate room to keep it all in. It's also a different type of material, and so it's nice to just keep it separate. The way we use it is different. So here you'll see our beloved Woody. This is original from Toy Story 1. And that's Bo Peep, which is so fun that we have, especially Bo, now that she is kind of the star of our Toy Story 4. These are original, you know, from the early 90s when we were making Toy Story 1. These are made out of Super Sculpey. This is not how we make our maquettes now. They make it out of clay, the sculptor. And then that sculpt gets sent to we have a vendor that's local, and they make this mold, molded around it, and then you cut it in half, you pull out the clay, which gets just destroyed, which is fine. We repurpose the clay and they'll use it again. And now we have this mold, which is a negative of the character. And from this mold, we put it back together and pour in a heated cast urethane resin, which is the substance we use. It hardens, and then you open it once again, and then you have your like gray maquette that you see. There's Trixie as an example on the table. So we'll look at some artwork from Toy Story 1, 2, and 3. Iterations of Bo. These are by Jean Gilmore. And you can see, I mean, working out the details. The animators really are the actors, and so sometimes they'll film themselves or they stand in front of a big mirror to watch their facial expression or like to move their body and see what it looks like. And so the Army men, if you're familiar, are these plastic figurines. They have legs, but they're attached to a board. And so to make sure they really understood how the Army men would properly move, Pete Docter took his shoes and drilled them into this board, and then they all took turns putting the shoes on and walking around with their feet connected to the board, and so they couldn't really move. Back in the day, it was not at all. Jonas Rivera, who's the producer on Toy Story 4, started here as a PA and was a fan of Disney and the Disney archive, and he was the one who actually just started going around to people's offices and being like, you shouldn't throw this away, are you done with this? We should be saving this, we should have an archive. So forward thinking. And so it really happened grassroots, really because of him, and then slowly it grew. And now, of course, we have a very formal process and a whole staff, and now the studio culture does know, please don't throw this away, and you know, like I said, we meet with them very regularly and have a relationship so they know how to archive, you know, kind of prep the materials to come to the archive.